So I gotta do day 4, right? I think it's day 4. I don't know. I've lost track of time. Working so much, sleeping, trying to. It's funny how I'm even listening to the radio just to change my. I just don't listen to nothing. Let me park here. Day 4. It wasn't real. Now, what happens is once you start to tell you it was not real, what happens is once you start to tell you that, start to do this, you start to look at all the possibilities, right? And you start to say, oh, maybe they wanted it to be real. Maybe they're in a it could be, like I say, it could be anything. It could be working for a business, working for the government. Maybe it was any kind of bubble that people create or kind of create for you to believe that their situation they're in. You get to a point where you say, okay, maybe in their mind it was real, and maybe they wanted to believe it was real, you wanted to believe it was real, and it might be real in some capacity, but because of situations it can't manifest, you know. It's kind of like if when you were little kids, you do the pill, you take that flower. She loves me not. She loves me not. Here's the progression. She loves me not. She loves me not. She don't love me. She's lying to me. She loves me not. She loves me not. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe she does love me. Maybe there's maybe she's been mentally abused, or maybe society, maybe society made this politician act that way because they were abused. Maybe they want to help you with this job over here, but they're being pressured by something else. There might be something pressuring. They might be trapped in a room somewhere and trying to get out. Maybe it's somebody who's, society. So you get to the point where it's like, going back to the little child example, when you were a kid, she loves me not. She loves me not. She loves me not. Wait a minute. Okay, there's something bigger going on here. Maybe the reality bubble's real, but maybe there needs to be some deconstruction going on. See, before you rebuild, maybe there's anything could be happening, But irregardless, you'll get to a point where you're not mad at yourself anymore because you believed something that wasn't real. You're not mad at them anymore, whatever it was, because they believe something wasn't real. Or you get to a point where you say, well, maybe it wasn't meant to be right now. Maybe it'll be in 5 years. Maybe it won't be down here on earth. Maybe it'll be in heaven. Maybe both people were going through the same thing. Maybe one was going through something that was it could be this too. In any situation, it don't have to be relationship related. It could be anything. Maybe there were so many ties and tangled up and strings that they just couldn't cut the strings, And it could be business related. It could be anything that you've. So here's the deal. Here's the deal, people. When you cut the music on, when you cut the TV on, when you listen to voices, instead of getting silent and being still, be still and know that I am. And you listen to God's voice and you quit listening to everybody else's voice, the fog goes away and the truth is right there. I've had people online, they thought they loved me. There's been a lot of women online that thought they loved me. But the real world is different, trust me. Because the cares of this life and the face-to-face turning and the daily routine, cooking, paying bills, going to work, people have kids, that pulls people. I mean, I watch people. I know what's going on around me. I know. I watch people. They get married when they're young. They're all excited. They think they're in love. They have a bunch of kids. One person might get saved or one person might become spiritual. And then over time, that other person who's trying to make them think they're crazy, or they might be married to a narcissist, they might have been beat up, or might have been poisoned, or they might have married it could be the man or the woman. What was that lady's name? Branch Taylor Moore. They escaped. They were being poisoned and they woke up to it and they had barely escaped, and they got all this trauma and they don't know who to trust, or they're stuck over here. The religious conviction or the community or the churches, well, you just gotta work it out. Even though they're fighting like cats and dogs and it's not healthy, somebody's gonna get hurt, somebody's gonna get killed, somebody's gonna go to jail, and they're over here fighting like cats and dogs, and they're trying to find a way out, but also they care about the kids, or they care about what people think, or they're still under some kind of legalism, even though it's an unhealthy situation. I've seen people stay in jobs that are unhealthy, and I was talking about it today. I saw an aunt. What was it? Was it an aunt? She got brown lung. She worked in a factory her whole life. She got brown lung, and they didn't take. She sacrificed herself for a company that didn't care about her. And some people sacrifice themselves for a spouse or kids, and nobody cares about them. So they're sitting over there trying to reach out to find somebody that understands them, cares about them spiritually. They might go to church, but then the church is legalist, and they say, man, I can't find any normal people. I can't find anybody who's free. And then they go online and they find people are free, and you think you found a soulmate, or whatever the words are. What do you call them? Is that the right word? Soulmate, or there's another word, I can't think of it. But anyway, they think they found their soulmate, and they might have, and you might have. Probably could be, if things were different. If we were in a multiverse, and in another multiverse, maybe they were together. Maybe in the multiverse you did get that great job that you left or quit, and you wish you would go back to it, or My point is, I'm just saying, you get to a point where this don't matter anymore, because you keep putting lines here, and you start to forgive yourself, forgive other people. You look at other people's perspective, and see a lot of people outgrow. They're in a situation. They might outgrow a job. They might outgrow a relationship. They might outgrow a perspective. They might outgrow a denominational church that they were in. They might outgrow all kinds of stuff. And to be honest with you, a lot of times those people get together. If they're not growing together, that's going to happen again. You've got to put the effort in there, because if the two, whoever it is, because there's like on a job, if there's high turnover, there's a reason there's high turnover. If people go into a job and there's high turnover, there's a reason. Either it's a bad manager, they're not paying enough, it's a bad environment, it's unhealthy. And see, the younger people nowadays, that's why I kind of link on my YouTube community channel. If it's the younger people now, like on Instagram, they ain't playing games. They're telling it like it is. Why should I work for you for 40 years and kill myself? Why should I stay in an abusive marriage? Why is my health not more important? Healthy, wealthy, and wise. Why is my bank account not as important as the corporate bank account? How come I can't start a business online and create me a money flow, two or three money flows with TikTok, Instagram, whatever other one they use? So the younger people are waking up that it's a fake reality out there. And the promises, a lot of times, so you meet somebody and they promise you the world, and then you get tied up and yoked up and they don't follow through for jack, for real. And most people that pull you into that bubble, they're not even real with themselves, much less real with anybody else. And it's like, and all the pride and the ego and the people who were still in the flesh mind never got saved, never did the inner work, never rose up. And so wherever you're at, if it's healthy and peaceful, praise God. If you're single and you got peace and you're healthy, you got some roof over your head and some cash flow, praise God. Be still and know that I am. So that's what I'm saying. Eventually when you do this, after your goal is 21 days, you don't even get to the 21 days if you're really doing the work of looking at every possible perspective. And there's no new game, there's no new story. You already know. You can watch the cheater programs, you can watch all the different Dr. Phil cases. You already know, you can take the data points and okay, that's what's going on. Oh, maybe they do care. They're just caught up in something they didn't want to tell you because they didn't want to hurt you, That's oh, they're in something that they didn't want you to know about because they didn't want you to get hurt. Most people are not psychopaths or sociopaths or having ill intentions. People probably do care about you, whatever the situation. But they get caught up in things and they don't know they're caught up in it. I'm not justifying anything. I'm not justifying. I'm not being judgmental. I'm not going any way. I'm not going to any extreme. I'm not judging and I'm not justifying, because we've all messed up. And until you, like my dad said one time when I was younger, I was helping him build a deck or something, talking about something. He said, you can't judge people till you walk in their shoes. I never forgot that. I had some people when you're young say stuff. That was one of the things. Then I had an aunt one time said, sometimes working a part-time or two part-time jobs is better than working a full-time. I had a stepmother. She said, hey, the way they treat others, the way they treat you. What did my grandmother teach me one time? What'd she say? So all these people in your life, these little comments that they made, and it stuck with you. And then you start telling other people. But I'm trying to tell you, this is not about being mad, being angry, getting bitter, getting revenge, being mad at somebody. You learned your lesson. Move on. It's over. And it might not even be over. But it usually is. It usually is, because usually God is, it's sad. Once you go through something, let's say it's day 2, you might end up day 2, 3, 4, you might get in the corner somewhere and cry till you can't cry no more, but then you got cleansed, But usually it's not even about that situation. It's about your heart between you and God. You had a hard heart and didn't know it, Seriously, people, this is what. So what's happening is people are stuck. People get in this little groove in whatever it is, relationship, your own belief systems. You get in this groove, and you keep hitting these brick walls, or something keeps happening, and something's just not right. even though the data points are there, you don't want to believe it because you want the lie, you know? God, but I love her. I'm in love with her. Do you even know her? Was it real? I don't know if the woman ever go through that. Women go through that. Women probably go through that in a different way. You know, you can listen to women online talk about how they got their heart broken or something. But unless you're a woman, you don't know how a woman thinks. But from the man's perspective, you know, it's kind of like, how would you explain it? I'm trying to think of what kind of movie would explain it. But we all have, deep down in the soul, the men and women have the same emotions and all. But it's like we project this reality. You project this reality. Oh, that's the perfect job. Oh, I can trust that. But see, I took notes today. I need to pull my notes out. As a thought comes to my mind, let me just pull over here and read these notes, because this is really what I want to talk about. Whatever's in this piece of paper right here. I can't remember what I was thinking. That's why when the Holy Spirit shows you something, write it down, because you will forget if you don't write it down. You can train your brain to remember it, but it's still like it's real, people. If you're really listening to God, be still and know that I am. He does speak. People think he doesn't speak, but he does. And sometimes it's your own thoughts, but okay. All right, so so I made a note, and it says, if you think about it, all the stuff, the TV shows, the music, any kind of show, this is man-made. And the reality bubble that man puts out there, whether it's a business you create and you hire a salesman to market it, the marketing, you put the image out there, please buy my product, we're the best, we are better than Coca-Cola, our Coke is healthy and we put these chemicals in it, please drink our Coke, and look at how happy these people are. They put this fake reality in front of us, from cartoons to our whole life. So you're being bombarded by the doctrine of the world, the flesh, pride of life. So you're being indoctrinated into fake reality, and to accept it. It started with the cartoons. And so anything that man makes is a fake reality. When you open up that Bible, because it was inspired by the Holy Spirit, you're reading, but you're also reading Proverbs and Psalms. And Solomon told you in Proverbs what to expect down here. And it's a fractal, so there's nothing new under the sun. So it's all happening now. So anything man promises you, you might say, well, mankind, let's say a woman promises a man, she'll be faithful. A man promises a woman, he'll be faithful. And so whether it's he or she promising to be faithful, they might really want to be. They might grow apart, and they usually do. The only way you're not going to grow apart in a marriage, Apostle Paul said, come together more often, but it's more come together talking spiritually and knowing the person. Because the physical realm gets old, just like anything in the physical gets old. When you first meet somebody, you want to be with them all the time, kiss on them, do whatever you got to do to feel that oneness, but that's the physical oneness. But there's a deeper oneness, spiritual, the only thing that's going to hold a marriage together, if they're together in spirit, eternal. The other stuff goes away anyway as you get older or whatever. But you see older people, when they get older, they stay married, but they are fighting like cats and dogs. And I know of situations I can't talk about, but they're not even, they start to just, but then other situations where they're helping each other. They get older and they just kind of don't care anymore about the other person. They get older and they always help each other. It's spiritual, people. It's all spiritual. And trigger. I got the no TV thing, I got trigger. Okay. So there's trigger points to trigger you back into old patterns, right? And so those trigger points, you're being hit, and AI is being used right now like crazy. They're trying to trigger everybody into race wars. They're trying to trigger everybody into fear, doubt, worry. So even the internet will trigger you. And what they'll do is they'll learn what you want to watch, and then they'll hit you and bombard you with shows that you're like, where did that title come from? Where did that come from? What is that? That's interesting. It's not even Joe Rogan started it. Now they went to the next level. There's 1,000 Joe Rogans, and there's 1,000 titles that draw you in. Let's say you like string theory. They got every kind of string theory podcast to draw you in. But when you start to cut the noise off, the TV, the music, and you step back and any kind of thing, any kind of man-made thing, whether it's a theory of the universe, Einstein, string theory, whatever, eventually you realize that's a distraction. So they're trying to trigger you so you don't listen to God, and you think you're going to get your happiness or joy from this. But it's actually it would be in a spiritual relationship. And if you're single, it's just between you and God, and you can have peace and joy or whatever. Enjoy whatever you like to do, whatever you like to eat, just do it. And so let's see what else I wrote on this thing. Oh, a lot of times you'll wake up. What was that? There was some kind of music video. He said, what is this place? Where am I? Is this my wife? Is this my job? Is this it? Something about what is this place? How did I get here? Who am I? The Doors or something. It was kind of like a funny sounding song, but the stuff he was saying was deep. It was deep. You wake up and you finally say, oh, why am I here? Do I really want to be in this city? Do I want to be in this job? Do I want to be in this marriage? Do I want to be raised? I mean, I hate to say it, but some people might say, well, why am I raising these kids? I mean, you're supposed to take care, do that. But my point is, you get stuck down here and you're like, was my marriage a lie? Was my job a lie? Is my career a lie? Was my family a lie? Because I don't even get along with them, you might say. They're in a different mindset. I can't even get along with them anymore. And then we see the hurricane destroyed these cities. I'm reading my notes. We see these stories. I usually formulate this in a different video, but since I'm talking about this, I'm also going to throw this in there. So you see how they just, whether it was weather manipulation or just God's tired of, as I look back, I think God was washing away some people's history. So my point is, let me take a deep breath. I'm trying to talk too fast to get my point across, and that it never works. Places were destroyed, and it could have been your place, and people's whole picture of that city's gone. That street's gone. Everything's gone. And so what happened was, it's like, this cities don't exist anymore. Did I believe a lie? Yes, you believed a lie. It's better to be like the Indians and go put you a teepee there. And if this washes out, take your teepee and go over there. And if that washes out, go take your teepee and go over there. That's why the Indians were wiser than the white man, or the white man system, if you want to call it that, which I don't. But the reason is, do you really own this land? What happens when it washes away? and they didn't have flood insurance. And so your whole reality has to crash. Your whole reality has to crash before you see that you were being bombarded and lambasted with fake music, fake news, fake reality, fake dreams, and everything that you believed, the way you were raised. Most of the time, there is false doctrine in a home. And so you were raised with fake, and as you unfold it, you're like in shock. And so you can't be mad at the other person because they were raised in the fake stuff too, but that they wanted to believe. They wanted to believe it about you. Let's say you did get married and you wake up and you say, well, she thinks this about me, but I don't want to break her heart, so I'll just go ahead and just let her keep believing it. Or she might think, he thinks this about me and I don't want to break his heart, so it might be based on love that they don't want to break the person's heart, but they really are lying to themselves and lying to the other person because that's not really who they are. But their motive might be love, but it's not real love because you want to stay in the truth. But most people will never even hear what I just said because they don't want to go that deep, and because they know that the apple cart is going to be turned upside down if they go to that person and say, look, I know you believe this about our relationship, but it's not real. You have this fake reality that you believe about me, but that's not who I am. You're trying to project something on me that's not real. It could be a friend, it could be family. They do it on the internet all the time. They don't know you. If I'm not riding down the road in the car with you sitting right here, and we go in the store, and we go over here to the dentist, and we go over here to the auto place, and we go in Wendy's, or if you're not sitting right here, you don't know me, and I don't know you. And that's the fake reality that we create. Because when it comes to interaction with people down here, survival, I mean, I have some Uber riders that will sit here and talk, and sometimes I talk about the deep spiritual things or the unseen realm, and they're listening, and they're like, it's like your buddy or your friend or your sister, your brother or whatever. So you sit there and talk, and they say, I really like talking to you. Can I have your number? Can we talk about some more stuff? And I'm thinking, no, I don't think so. It's like, if I see somebody who's like that one girl, she's like 22. She said, can I have your number? I said, yeah. And so she'll text every once in a while. And I realized she's really not looking for the guru stuff. She's in a religion. I don't know if it's a Hindu religion or something. She's really needing to find Jesus. It's not about the deep spiritual things. She's just lost. I try to point her to the Bible, but might send a text every once in a while. But it's even if they're in the car with you, unless you're having real communication, and most people are not real with people, unless you're having real communication, you don't know the person. You might know their habits, you might know, but deep down, only God knows you, Because most people don't even know themselves. How can they know you if they don't know themselves? How can they know you if they don't know the Bible and you do? How can they know you? I mean, there's people, you can work with people for 10 years and they think they know you, and they don't. They really do. They might know aspects about you. They might know how you're going to do a job or do this, or they might know what you mean, like saying little sayings or something, but they don't really know you because they're not in your personal life. And so it's almost like, and then you got in-laws sometimes, so your wife have this perspective of you, and then she goes to her mom or her sisters or whatever and says this, and it's like, what? That's not what I said. That's not me. And that could be an experience from a narcissist. That could be narcissism, trying to paint a fake reality. But people do that. People do that. I've read emails from before where I try to I have to read it 3 times. It took me a while to wake up to this. There was one person, she and I emailed a lot. And I had to catch myself. I had to realize I was putting into that email something that wasn't real. It's like, when I woke up to that, because you said, you didn't read it again. I read it again. Oh, okay. I didn't see that. We project the reality that we want. But if we just sit back and listen, and really listen, and keep on listening, and try to look at it from different perspectives, then you say, oh, I got you. There is that possibility where you can know somebody, but there has to be trust. There has to be open communication, heart-to-heart communication. There has to be realness. There can't be any legalism. There can't be any judgmentalism. You can call them out, and usually when you call a woman out, say, why are you doing that? Well, you did this. It's like, okay, whatever. I'm not even going to try to talk. See, that's how it works. All right, you don't want to admit. You have to just throw it back, huh? You can, in that situation, if you call somebody out on something, say, look, before I call you out, you can call me out later, but during this conversation, let's deal with this with you. Now, 10 minutes later, tomorrow, call me out on what I need to change, but this is the issue. So you have to have the motive not to hurt the person, but you're trying to help them see the blind spot or the fake reality so that they can be healthy, you know? And so, it's deep. I don't even think Dr. Phil goes deep enough. Who goes deep enough? Who goes deep enough to really deal with some of this stuff that's going on in the core of a person or core in relationships or whatever? Who is able to deal with that kind of stuff and really bring it out? It has to be people who are self-aware and people who are secure in Christ. Otherwise, if you don't have your identity in Christ and Christ alone, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a he said, she said, well, you did it. Stuff like that. And it has to be pure motive where you want that best for that person. You want to break them out of that box. Everybody has blind spots. And sometimes it's best not to even talk about certain things because they might not ever escape, you know.